What is going on, people? Inside that internet machine, Tyler and I went to a new hunting ground, and the hunting was good. All right, so I went up with Tyler, T Money, T Wiz, and we went out to a new area that I've never been to before, and it was very fertile. There were a lot of games out there, but of course he's my boy, and he hooked me up with Disney's Tailspin. That's Showbiz on VHS. Gotta love the old Disney afternoon stuff. Also a battery pack for my Xbox controller, a rechargeable battery pack. I have a battery pack, but it takes batteries, and I've been eating through a lot of batteries. GameCube AV cables, and then a GameCube power cable, which is funny because I use my GameCube to play Game Boy Advance games on the Game Boy player. And he was saying, like, don't use third-party components on your consoles. And I'm like, what's he talking about? Like, I've never had a problem with that. But I hooked it up, and I have a third-party power cable, and I couldn't get the power part out of the GameCube without, like, wiggling it. And I'm like, this is not good. So thanks for the hookup, bro. OEM parts are always the best. Yeah. Anyway, we went to a flea market on Main. I don't have this game anymore because it already sold. It is Madden 12 on the PS2. It was $5. Tyler actually found it, but he didn't want to. This was scratched, whatever. So I figured the case and manual would probably be worth $5. I got it back. Did a 1-minute resurface and then sold it like in a couple days for $40. So yeah, not bad. Let's get into some pickups, man. It's been a crazy day. So I'm gonna skip around. The last place we went was like a pawn shop. And I had to read the sign properly. It was like, buy one movie, get 2 movies free. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's not right. It has to be buy 2, get 1 free, because whatever. Unless these movies are like $10 or something. So Tyler was like, how much are the movies? And she's like, $1. And then she goes, if you buy 1, you get 2 for free. I'm like, what? Okay. So I spent $2. Got Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson, Robo Croc. I'm sure that's riveting. Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis in the campaign. Gotta have Chaz Michaels, Blades of Glory. Never seen this one before, Van Damme Replicant, but man, after Van Damme's career sort of stopped, around 94 or whatever, I guess he just made a bunch of these straight to DVD movies. And then movie I haven't seen in forever, man. I'm gonna throw this right in the collection. Big Tupac fan, but Poetic Justice. So that was awesome. And then that was sort of the last stop of the day, but we did stop at Buckeye Games and Flea Market, which is awesome. I love that place. Brian does an awesome job. And if you're ever in the Newark Heath area, you definitely have to stop at Buckeye Games. He sells these for $1, these Nintendo cases. So I grabbed 7 of those. And then I grabbed 3 Super Nintendo dust covers. I grabbed this Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch case, and then some Game Boy Advance stuff. Now it's crazy, it was like $15, and this Zelda goes for about $10 or so. So I'm gonna throw that up on my eBay store for like $10, which means we'll get all of this for $5 as it falls off. You can never have too much retro protection, that's what I say. Yeah, I'm drinking grape Kool-Aid. All right, so we go to this place, and it reminded me of the old days. And those of you that have been doing this for a while know exactly what I'm talking about. When you used to like walk into a pawn shop and there were just games everywhere. They were like falling over because they had so many of them and nobody wanted them. This place was like that. They had cases full of stuff, boxed consoles, fantastic consoles, games for pretty much every console. Yeah, even like Dreamcast and box Sega Genesis, stuff like that. They had Xbox 360 faceplates. Where do you ever see Xbox 360 faceplates? There was an Undertaker one. I think there was like a Gears of War one. I don't know. So I'm going to do a little research on faceplates and see if it's worth it to buy those. So, they got their cases and they got all the good stuff in the cases. On the floor, literally on the floor, 6 games high Nintendo games. all the way across. I'm 6 foot tall. I probably could have laid down twice and there would have been still room. All these games, $4.95, you know? Not the heavy hitters, but there are some really solid titles in there. And as an added bonus to having all these games, an added bonus, they run specials. If you buy 3, then you get the third one half off. If you buy 4, then you get the fourth one for free. So I took advantage of that. On the ground, found a Sammy title. I actually kind of like Sammy on Nintendo. I'm sure this isn't like the greatest game of all time, but it's Michael Andretti's World GP. So I'll add that one to the collection. And then check this out. Wayne Gretzky's hockey. I know you're saying it's Wayne Gretzky's hockey, but this is the white jersey variant. Now, I'm not really excited about variants, you know, Left Side Bros or the red label Blades of Steel or anything like that. But I've been trying to find one of these for a long time for absolutely no reason. They actually had 2 copies of this, but the other one was cracked on the case, so it was like messing up the label and it was kind of dingy. This version of the game with this white jersey is like a $20, $30 game. So that was $4.95. Thinking about keeping that one. And then in my last video, I was talking about the Game Boy Advance GT Advance Championship Racing 4-pack that has GT Advance Racing 1, 2, 3, and then MotoGP. They had 2 copies, $5 each. So, because it's 4 games, that one was free. But wait, there's more. They had some Super Nintendo titles that I absolutely had to have. First one is Firepower 2000, a shooter that I obviously didn't have, so I snagged that. Super Street Fighter 2, which is awesome. Kind of rounding out my Super Street Fighter collection, just missing Street Fighter Alpha, but I can't wait to pop this in. It's got some extra characters, Cammy, DJ. And then this one was like half off, so this was $6.50. Wolfchild. Again, a game that I hardly ever see, and when I do, it's sort of priced accordingly. They had $13 on it, but like I said, it was half off, so it was $6.50. It's like a $20 game. So you average the games I got, it was like $8.50 or something like that a game at that store. It's absolutely insane. So at the end of the year, I go through my eBay inventory, and all those games that are like $5 to $7 games that don't have any views, that no one has any interest in, I just delist them, declutter my eBay store. I take them up to Maxine's Bargain Box and I just take trade credit, whatever they give me. So I took a whole bunch of games and stuff up there, and they gave me $95 in trade credit for Just Dance's Guitar Heroes, you know, Dora the Explorer on the Wii, Defending the Penguin, you know, those types of shovelware games. Apparently, you know, they have no problem taking them. But so at 95 in trade credit, and I got some heavy hitters. But the Game Boy Advance games are $3 if they're not marked, or they're $5 or 3 for $10. Guess what I found? 2 more copies of GT Advance Championship Racing 4-pack. I can't believe I've never seen this game, and in the last 3 weeks I've picked up 5 copies. It's unbelievable. So with the third game, it was in their bin. Tyler saw it first, but he's nice, so he gave it to me. Samurai Jack. This is from the Amulet of Time. Yeah. So this is like a side-scrolling action kind of Samurai Jack game. Now, it doesn't really control very well, but Samurai Jack. Who doesn't love Samurai Jack? But I got those for free. They gave me those games for free because I spent my $95 in trade credit, and I snagged Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt for the Nintendo. Uncommon game. Glad to add that on trade. I mean, you think I traded in Guitar Heroes and Just Dances and Dora the Explorer on the Wii and got a pretty cool uncommon Nintendo game. So that was $70. And then I saw this in their counter and I had to have it. It's a Super Valis 4 and they had it at $50, so it was a little bit underpriced. So for $25 out of pocket, I got these games and then the Game Boy Advance games for free because they just gave them to me. So yeah, awesome. I can't believe that that I have this in my collection because I never see it. It's one of those kind of rare games that everybody buys. And then Super Valis, you know, this is one of those like a Turbo CD, Turbo Graphic games. We didn't really get a lot of those ported here in the United States. but we did get Super Valus 4, so can't wait to pop that in and give that a try. All right, so fast forward a couple days. Super Street Fighter 2, man, what a bummer. So when I get cartridge games, I show them in the video, and then I start to clean them and test them in the manner that I like to clean and test games. I take them apart, I clean the boards off real good, I clean the inside of the cartridge, the outside of the cartridge, the edges of the cartridge, let that dry, put it all back together, test it, and then I put it away, put it wherever it's gonna go in the collection. Most game stores don't clean games. They just take the rubbing alcohol and the swab and they go like this, call it good, price it, put it on the shelf. But you really need to take these games apart and look at the pins, make sure they're not broken. We'll look at the traces, make sure that, you know, none of those are broken. So the Street Fighter 2 had one rusted screw. That doesn't really give me a lot of grievance. I've had to deal with that before. It's usually the screw went bad or something got on the screw. I've got plenty of Super Nintendo cartridge replacement screws around here, so I didn't think that was a big deal. But when I got home and I peeled off the sticker, the price tag, which was over the other screw hole and the screw was missing, I knew I was probably going to be in a little bit of trouble, because that tells me that the game's been opened before, you know. So I opened it up, and sure as shit, the board, the pins, all of it just like rusted all the way across. I tried to do what I could to save the game. Just wasn't working. So I'm like, crap. So I drove down there today, explained it to the person, and they were very sorry. So I exchanged it. They did not have another copy of Super Street Fighter 2, but instead I grabbed Captain America and the Avengers for Super Nintendo. I moved the sticker off the screw to make sure that the screw was there. So I got that in exchange for Super Street Fighter 2. And while I was kind of looking around, they had Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch loose cartridge. I had the case, which I picked up like last year for like $2. So complete that. And at some point I do want to play a Monster Hunter game. It's one of those game franchises where I've never beaten one game in the franchise, so I'd kind of like to do some of that. Stopped at Maxine's Bargain Box. I don't know why I want to play this so bad. Virtual Fighter 2 on the Sega Genesis. It was $12, which is a decent price for this game, and it's like in really, really nice mint condition. But they had like 2 other copies of this in the collector's case for $18. So I'm sure that because this one's been there since February 17th, 2024, that nobody looked for it on the shelf. They just got some games in with Virtual Fighter 2's an $18 game, and they put them in their collector's case. I was a little hesitant to pick this one up because of its condition. It was 30 bucks, but it's Batman on the Sega Genesis. You can see it's got heavy label wear there. I did not know that this cartridge goes for that much. There are people asking like $50 for this cartridge on eBay in basically the same condition, and a complete copy of this game looks like it's kind of difficult to find. So I took these up to the counter. So it was what, 42 bucks. Dave gave me like a $5 discount, so that knocks it down to about 37 bucks. So, you know, we got a little bit of a discount there, but I got this because Video Game Lover 58 completed this game this year. I haven't had my eye on this game. When's that? How long's that been there? January 16th of 2024. So I've kind of had my eye on this game for a while, and I've been debating whether I wanted to get it or not. But then Video Game Lover 58 got it, and he played it, and he posted that it was a really good game. So I was like, you know what? For 30 bucks, and Dave's gonna give it to me for, you know, essentially $27.50 or something. I'll grab that and I'll play that this year. So very excited to get Batman, the video game. And I remember when that movie came out and my mom took me to see it in the theaters. It was amazing. So such an iconic cover art. Keaton, best Batman of all time. But anyway, yeah, I had to do some moving and shaking today. Beat Super Valus 4 on the Super Nintendo this morning. What an incredible game. Don't buy a brand new $70 game this year. Buy Super Valus 4 on Super Nintendo. It's really, really good. Very difficult, like Ninja Gaiden level challenging. But anyway, that's what I was doing today. All right, guys, that is going to do it. What have you been picking up? Make sure you leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share on social media. Don't forget to bang that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of your CM retro gaming goodness, guys. Take care of yourselves. We will see you on the next one.